Welcome to Dustin's Vinyl with Anthony Kapfer on the guitar. Nice. Wow. Nice. I like that riff. That is, yeah. That is that your original? That's original, right?
Yeah. That's the one you like. I've been trying to play that one on this show.
I think I like it. Yeah, it's just kind of encompasses that kind of funky metal I like.
Yeah.
So are you gonna do lyrics with it? Yeah.
I was working on doing like kind of a spoken word thing, just kind of maybe some one-liners and stuff on that.
All right, that's cool. I did a spoken word with you on my last album. That was fun. Called I forget, it was a COVID comedy. COVID comedy. The Jester's Head or something. I forget how that is. You're wearing a mask. COVID comedy. Don't cough on me. I need the money. Yeah, it was some weird, funny stuff. It's a crazy that was 2 years ago.
2 years.
Damn. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That
I guess so. Maybe a year and a half. About a year and a half.
Into 2020. Yeah.
Year and a half. And we didn't think there was going to be any live shows. I didn't think there was going to be any comedy or music or anything like that. But I feel like it's kind of came back.
It's coming back. I mean, it's been hard for me to get back. It's more competitive.
That's because you're a gentle dick. You got to work on the dick side. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on being, No, it's coming back in general. I think it's, I mean,
it's been better. Yeah.
I mean, I've been to a concert. I mean, that's. I'm
going to a concert this Saturday.
Yeah, I think that's when you feel it's back. Of course, we were wearing a mask the entire time, and that was about 4 months, maybe 3 months ago. We saw the Struts, and I felt like it was like not everybody's wearing masks, but we felt like it was. That was when everybody was still kind of COVID-y, if you will. Yeah. So we, but yeah, I felt like it was. It's time. Get back, everybody. If you've had COVID twice, so
twice, like, I got nothing to lose at this point. I'm going to concerts. I'm going to do whatever.
Yeah, it's like your second album. Contest. Just COVID twice. You're alive. You didn't die.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. You're not that old yet. 2 more years, you would have been dead.
I know. I'm right on the brink. I'm the cutoff. It's like the last couple of years where I'm still considered young by doctors.
Doctors, hilarious. Yeah, they haven't checked my butt yet. I'm still young.
Who knows what's going on back there?
Because that's what it is. Yeah. When they start checking your butt, you're over the hill.
Yeah.
It's like when you can go life without checking your butt. You're like, hey, life's okay. I'm still young. I'm hip. But
I don't need to know what's happening back there.
But when you wake up and you're like, oh, that felt great, then you got a problem. Welcome everybody, Dustin's Vinyl. Very excited to be here. I'm going to bring in my other riff-raff, very funny, ridiculous people that we have here on Dustin's Vinyl. We have a co-host. Give him a little music. We have Jeffrey, Paul, and Adam Holtz, everybody. Love that. I think that should be our theme song.
Cool vibe.
Maybe do some lyrics like Dustin's Vinyl. Maybe write a song. And then
a theme song.
Oh, I'll try to see if I can write some lyrics for that. Yeah.
Dustin Snippy. We talk about vinyl. Don't interrupt. Dustin's Vinyl. Yeah. Pat Benatar. Yeah. Something like that. I'm just throwing it out there. If you want to work with that, you can.
It's a very Wayne's World.
I'm just gonna take the recording of what you just did and just gonna sample it on top.
I could do a whole one if you want. I can actually take it serious. I'm an artist. Good to see everybody. This is fun. It's still March, which is we decided to cover women in music because of Women's History Month, and also we'd like to show the heritage of the Irish because March is a big Irish month, I guess, because of St. Patrick's Day. We'll start with the Irish. I wasn't aware that, let's see, Mr. Iggy Pop is of American Irish descent. His real name is James Newell Osterberg, which does not sound Irish. Apparently, on his father's side, is Irish, and I guess he was adopted by Swedish parents. That hence the name. Osterberg. But man, that just wouldn't be the same if it was James Newell Osterberg and the Stooges. That would not have worked. Would not quite have been the same sound that I think we have today. I love Iggy Pop. I've seen Iggy Pop live a couple of times. I've talked about this. I feel like I've saw the craziest lineup in rock and roll history is when I saw Iggy Pop is when it was one show, NXS, Guns N' Roses, Iggy Pop, the Smithereens, and Ziggy Marley all in one bill.
Wow.
And it was quite in Dallas, Texas. I've never seen anything quite that eclectic in a comedy show, and this was great. Iggy Pop was amazing. He opened up for Guns N' Roses, which I was kind of on the fence about that. But at that time, I don't think anybody could have followed Guns N' Roses, but they did. But NXS actually headlined that show because they were bigger at the time. They were just, all the kick was just, skyrocketing on the hits. So, yeah, this is a cool album. Lust for Life, which is probably one of my favorite Iggy Pop songs of all time. It's just, you put that song on. It was funny. Like Anthony has a new song talking about selling out, and I think, you think of, you don't. Certain times you think there's no way certain artists are gonna like give their music to cheesy commercials and things. You know what I mean? You think, especially somebody like Iggy Pop, who's like, godfather of punk and this movement. And then I saw Carnival Cruises was playing Lust for Life. I was like, come on, Iggy, you don't need the money. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, TNT, I see in a car commercial once, but it's a car, but like Carnival Cruises, they got little kids going down the slide. It was like, dude, you did heroin in the CBGB's bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, just, you take your shirt off, and cut yourself, and like, it's like, I don't know. It was really funny to me, but it's still a great song. I still love that song.
I feel like the first time I heard that song was in a commercial when I was a kid.
No, I think it was Lust for Life. That
was
Carnival.
Lust for Life in Trainspotting.
Trainspotting, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not a commercial. That's a badass movie.
Yeah, that was pretty prominent in that.
That's when you heard it, Anthony. There's no way it was because I think Carnival Cruises was a couple of years ago. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But, you heard it in Trainspotting. That's
I probably heard it in Trainspotting.
That was cool. It was a cool movie. As long as it's connected to something cool, then I'm into it. And little kids, babies dying. That's perfect. You know what I mean? Like that's, babies crawling on the ceiling. That's that goes perfect with Iggy Pop. Not Carnival Cruises. All you can eat. Like, shut up, dude. Really, is that your lust for life? That you can just keep hitting the buffet. This is a cool album. This is probably, I think, one of the best top to bottom, probably just Iggy Pop by himself. Obviously Iggy and the Stooges is a kind of more collaborative work, which is probably a better sound, if you will. But I feel Iggy Pop, but it can do anything by himself with his own band or new bands. Whatever he ends up doing is always a lot of fun. A really cool actor too. I don't know if you've seen him in some of his Jim Jarmusch roles and things like that. Just a cool,
coffee and
weird,
cigarettes.
He did that. Did you ever see that Johnny Depp Western where it was
Dead Man?
Dead Man, yeah, and he's got a bonnet on the whole time.
I didn't see that.
He was in a John Waters movie.
Oh, was he? I'm sure.
Yeah, he was in Crybaby, and that's why
he was in Crybaby. Okay.
And he was really weird in it, but great.
Yeah, he was great. I'm sure Johnny Depp loves him. So Johnny Depp loves rock and roll and stuff. So that makes sense that he was in another Johnny Depp movie.
Even put that together, yeah.
Yeah, but this is good. Here's the side A. We got Lust for Life, 16, Some Weird, The Passenger, Tonight. Side B, we got Success, Turn Blue, Neighborhood Threat, and Fall in Love with Me. On this, we have drums, Hunt Sales, bass, Tony Sales, and guitars.
Do you know who those guys are?
Tell us, Jeff. That's what you're here for.
They are the sons of comic genius Soupy Sales.
Really?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
And they were the rhythm section for David Bowie's Tin Machine.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
At all.
I got the Bowie shirt today.
Oh, see? That's
nice.
You should get that shirt, Anthony.
I like David Bowie. I just don't listen to that.
There's some B-sides that you can avoid. But anyway, it's a great album.
I always like looking at who the band is. And who
let me finish out. So guitars, I'm going to start doing this now. Read all the music on the back. So guitars, we have Carlos Alomar, Ricky Gardliner. You ready for this?
That's his main guitarist.
You ready for this? Piano, David Bowie.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Okay.
That's great.
I didn't know Bowie played on that. Huh.
Yeah. And guess it was recorded by David Bowie.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess
did
he's,
he write any songs with him? Co-writing?
Yes. Lust for Life.
Lust for Life.
What?
Music by David Bowie. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. That's who knew? You know, you read it. Some Weird Sin. Also David Bowie.
Wow.
Yeah. Tonight, David Bowie. Yeah. Quite a few songs on here. So yeah. Neighborhood Threat, David Bowie. Yeah, wow. Half the songs on here, so that's good.
Yeah.
Who knew? See, you read the back of a record and you learn stuff, and then you got Jeff over there. He's just
Jeff knows the rest.
Knows everything. Yeah, Jeff. If what's not here, Jeff knows. That's why he's always.
I saw Iggy Pop open for Jane's Addiction.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Do you remember when in New York City on 42nd Street by the Intrepid they used to do concerts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was like one of like the first like gigs I got, and that was what got me into like actually going on tour with bands.
You gotta tell the people the gig. Like, what was your gig?
So my gig there, I mean, we did everything. We were working production. So I mean, production entailed everything from pat downs of people coming into the venue to anything that had to be done like in the venue. See, there are certain gigs that are union. There are certain jobs that are with the tour staff, and then we were local. Okay, this was like the first foray into it. So we were basically doing backstage where the trucks were, because there's always trucks, and we really worked for Ron Delsner, who was the biggest concert promoter in New York City at the time, and we did the whole run. Every show. At the pier, and from that, the organization grew, and everyone wound up getting different jobs and going on tour with these bands, and it just blew up. With what's his name? Who was the guy that died with Stevie Ray Vaughan? Bill Graham.
Okay.
Bill Graham. He's the one that really helped.
So did you kind of start out security and then kind of moved your way into other areas?
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like one of the guys I was with. He wound up and still does build the stages for concerts in Central Park. Another guy is Springsteen's permanent road manager. And another guy is Shania Twain's road manager.
That's great.
Yeah, they're still doing it.
It's like paying your dues in comedy. You start out, you're like doing bringer shows, and then you start out doing pat downs, and then you get to stage production, and you're hanging out with Bruce Springsteen. And all that. I get it. Like, that's great. That's like paying dues. I love it. This, I usually don't do a lot of best of albums. It's the only one that I had of Blondie. Debbie Harry's
that's a good one. Yeah,
this is a great best of, and I'm a big fan of best of albums, and a lot of vinyl pedophiles, audiophiles, a lot of pedophiles love greatest hits, and they wish they could get a job as the pat down guy. You know what I mean? But this is a perfect best of album. Blondie, little things I wrote here. Deborah Ann Harry, she's a lead singer, and she was also like a Playboy bunny, like she worked at the club, the Playboy Bunny Club, which I thought was interesting. Which is a dancer and secretary and all this stuff, and then she ended up CBGBs and all this stuff, and all these things started happening, and they created this amazing band, Blondie, and this album has great stuff on it: Heart of Glass, Dreamin', Tides High, In the Flesh, Sunday Girl, Hanging on the Telephone, love that song, Rapture, One Way or Another, that's a great one.
That's a great one.
I'm always touched by your presence, dear, call me. I mean, first time I heard that song was in a movie. It was a movie called American Gigolo with Richard Gere, and I remember that was like one of the big songs in that movie, and it was actually the theme of the movie. I think the theme song, like the opening.
It was, and when he's riding the motorcycle.
Yeah, so cool. I like that movie. I was like, that movie's, I remember being a kid. I was probably, I don't know, maybe 12, 13. And I remember going, oh, really? Women can pay you for sex? I was like, that's cool. Life's not so bad. You know what I mean? Like this, I got to get older quick. Now they just pay me for dirty jokes. Okay. So Atomic, and then Ripper to Shreds, which is cool. Is that the rap one? Which
Rapture is the
Rapture.
rap.
Rapture's the rap one. Okay. Makes sense.
Rapture. Great song.
Yeah. So yeah.
Also in Train Spotting.
Also,
Wow.
Yeah. When they're in the dance club.
That's a great soundtrack, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do a soundtracks 2 thing because I feel like there's so many cool soundtracks to cover. We did it once. I think we should do it again. I don't even think Anthony was here when we did soundtracks.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, we'll do it again, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So Blondie, Iggy Pop, American Heritage, Irish Month, whatever, everybody. And obviously female history music. Females make a huge impact on music. So get you some Irish music and definitely get you some female driven music. So before I get into my pick, we're going to go with Jeffrey Paul. And what do you got?
All right, so I got a local band, and this band always made me think of St. Patrick's Day because they used to play around the city at Patty Riley's on the east side, and the band is Black 47, and the album is Fire of Freedom. And I always liked this band, but I think this is like their pinnacle album. It's great. Came out in March of '93, produced by Rick Ocasek from The Cause. Very cool. Yeah, they had come out earlier, and the Pogues really kind of started them out and took them under their wing, and kind of brought in Rick Ocasek to produce a single. And the single that just like really brought them to the attention of everybody was "Funky Celie," which was huge. It started out being played on alternative radio and then got big rotation play on MTV. But when they were huge, for them, they still wound up playing like all like these Irish bars throughout Manhattan. So you can go in any night. Like I remember I would go in like on a Wednesday night and you catch this band. You see Larry Kerwin at the bar, and like he just looked like a doctor. He little Irish guy with glasses, curly hair, and they would just go up and start singing these songs. And I don't know if you guys listen to him, but I mean, his voice is kind of sometimes a little controversial. You can kind of almost say, the way Bob Dylan or even Springsteen is an acquired taste. I think you could say the same thing about Larry Kerwin's voice as well. But I think their songs, especially on this album, are great. They tell a story in a very Celtic Irish way with a jig style to like almost most of these songs. Starts out with kind of like, it's a two-parter because it opens the album and closes the album, Living in America, and it's two different versions of the song. I think a song like Maria's Wedding, where it just like bangs into it with the horns, and just, I think the instrument that really stands out on this album is the sax. Jeffrey Blythe is the sax player on songs like Banks on the Hudson and Maria's Wedding, are both fantastic songs. Mostly songs about just being an Irish immigrant in New York City, and just kind of like trying to navigate, just adjusting to America. Hence a song like Living in America, about relationships. Also very cool instrumentation with flutes and, rousing drums. Another song that I always like, I hadn't listened to this in a long time when you suggested to do an Irish album, this was one of the first thing that came to my mind, either this or U2 or The Alarm. But going back and listening to a song like James Conley, which is to me like a very angry song. It tells a story about the leader of the Easter Uprising in 1916. And I'm a big history guy anyway, so I kind of like I like all like the little things they throw in here, like even the name of the band, Black 47. And when you kind of like look at it, it's because that was the year of the Irish potato famine. Which really kind of leads to a lot of the hostility between the Irish and the English, because the English had colonized Ireland at the time. They didn't feel that they did enough to kind of like help them divert this famine. 1.5 million Irish died, and that's what led to a lot of immigration to the United States over here. So it continued the hostility, and this song's about it. And there's a political rant in the song, and there's a couple of songs where you'll see that, but James Conley really stood out. Another song that like I love that just tells a story is Rocking in the Bronx, bagpipes to start the song. A lot of fun. And Banks on the Hudson, like I had previously said, to me was standouts. But I think this is a really fun album. I love the music. I love the tempo of the songs on it. But if you guys took exception with the voice, I would get that.
With the voice.
I'm done.
Oh, that's it.
Wow, that's the shortest you've ever been. I could tell it wasn't Pat Benatar.
Well, we got to get to the next album after
it
this.
wasn't John Cougar, I'll tell you.
I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of the band. I've heard the name somewhere. I felt like it's a very cool name. I liked it. I didn't, put the connection together with the potato famine. It's interesting. My tribe, the Choctaw Nation in Oklahoma, they actually raised funds and helped the Irish during the famine. Like that was a big thing. They would send stuff over and things like that. Probably like blankets they didn't want to use. You know what I mean? But smallpox. Yeah, this is a cool album. I definitely had a crazy week, so I didn't get to listen to it more than once. I listened to it in the car and stuff. It was good. It was, it's kind of it. I feel like a lot of Irish music, gets a little preachy. Gets a little kind of, in that realm of, kind of talking about, all the devastation and things and tragedies and, that kind of so I felt like it's a lot of that kind of stuff, but I thought it had a groovy sound. I liked it. I thought it was, I loved anything with bagpipes and things. I think it's different kind of music that you're blending kind of sounds, which I like about this band. And then, it was good. I definitely want to give it more of a listen. I feel like it's kind of one of those bands that I need to probably
put it on next week.
Yeah. Would you say put it on next week?
Yeah. St. Patty's Day. Next Thursday.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'll do an Irish day. I will. I'll do everything but Joshua Tree. And
Joshua Tree.
I even do the cranberries over Joshua Tree. But it was cool. Anthony, what did you think about it?
So Actually, my favorite thing about the album was the sound of the guy's voice. So it's funny that Jeff, you were worried that and there's some cool stuff. Was it Maria's Wedding?
Maria's Wedding, yeah.
That song was pretty cool. The New York 10009 or whatever.
Like code. Yeah.
That stuff is pretty, pretty minimal Celtic sound. But like anything that sounded like it was coming out of an Irish pub, I was like, oh, come on, give me a break. There's so much of it that even the like weird kind of reggae song, like,
I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah,
that was fun. Stuff like that, it kind of reminded me of The Clash or something. And the sound of that guy's voice, I mean, sometimes it was kind of like The Clash, and sometimes it was like he sounded like Robert Smith or something from The Cure.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Or just I like that, but I was not super into the, it's too Irish at times for me.
You're so racist against the Irish.
I just don't like that sound. I don't know what it is.
It's interesting that you said The Clash, because I felt like, the Big Audio Dynamite, which is a departure from The Clash, I feel it had some reggae tones to it. So I feel
absolutely
that was definitely what was happening there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting where it's just like you have a thing against kind of a certain too much of this particular kind of, Celtic sound or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
I just don't, it's like with the country stuff when it's like too honky tonk. I'm like, this
I think you've just played too many like shitty Irish pub bar gigs. That's what I think.
I was doing a lot of gigs like that at one point.
Yeah. You said too many guys drunk on Guinness just heckling you. Just want you to play Irish sing-alongs, and you're like, I'm not doing it. I'm doing D is for divorce. And you're flipping out. And
but definitely it's probably coming into play. But I liked it more than I thought that I would, considering how heavily that sound is featured on the album.
See, I don't have that. It's interesting that you have that thing. Like, I don't have too much, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's not really a sound that like drives me crazy. I feel like every genre of music, there's somebody that, I'll enjoy that's doing that music, but I guess maybe Irish is yours. I don't know.
And I don't even know why. I have no reason. There's something about it. I hear it.
If you spend a long enough time in New York City, if you've ever been in New York City on St. Patrick's Day, those are always the worst comedy shows.
Yes.
Like, I would rather do New Year's Eve, Halloween, any of those over St. Patrick's Day, because that's notorious for being just horrible.
Just the worst.
So, yeah,
and New Year's is pretty bad too. But, but
not as bad as St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, New Year's is great.
Yeah, I'll take New Year's Day. Unless you're
you get paid well, but the crowds are not there to, they're not there for our art.
My last New Year's Eve show in New York was at a diner in Staten Island.
Ooh, remember you doing that?
And it was horrible.
Which diner?
I got in trouble because I just shit on it on Facebook or something because I'm a dick. And so, and the guy, because during the show, the owner of the diner or whatever, he grabbed the microphone. I was 40 minutes in trying to close it out, and he grabbed the microphone and just started kind of doing crowd work. And I was just sitting on the stool. I was like, "What are you?"
But
just
you
like,
were on stage?
Yeah, he just grabbed it. It was like, "Hey, everybody!" It wasn't even close to New Year's. It wasn't like it was like 11:58 or something. Like it was just like 10:40, and he was drunk, and he heckled the whole show. He was just like, So
what was the name of the diner?
I don't remember.
I know the diner.
I'm sure Jeff knows.
I know. I know
those guys are mafia ties, so let's don't shout them out. They act like they are.
My mom pretty much worked at every diner in Staten Island. So
everybody acts like they're mafia in Staten Island.
Yeah.
They're either with Wu-Tang Clan or the mafia. Like that's the two that everybody's with. What about you, Adam? What'd you think about this? I know you like Irish stuff. You got a grandpa somewhere.
I was mixed on this album. I remember Black 47. They were especially in the 90s. I don't think I've listened to them since the 90s. But I thought the album was a bit all over the place in terms of style. It kind of reminded me of another album we covered in Living Colors Vivid. Living Colors Living Colors Vivid, just because of there was just so many different styles that are happening in there. I know like Anthony said, there is a Clash vibe going on. I think there's also very much a Springsteen vibe going on with stuff like Maria's Wedding. Just sounds exactly like Rosalita to me. And
but without the voice, which is probably why I didn't hate it.
Right.
Without the Springsteen voice.
I mean, it sounded like such a similar song lyrically, but the song that really bugged me on this was Rockin' the Bronx. I just thought it was so cringy.
Really? That's a great song.
It reminded me of Glamour Boys. It was
wow.
It was a song that took down Living Color, by the way.
Right.
Right. I forgot. I know that song. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those songs that I especially I guess because they put it so early in the album. I don't know. The album got stronger after that. I really liked Fanatic Heart. That was the song that I thought also sounded like Robert Smith a bit. There was a Fire of Freedom, the reggae song, which reminded me a little bit of UB40.
Yes, I love UB40.
They did Red Wine.
Yep.
Yeah, they did. It's a fun band. Back it up. That's up, son.
I like that song.
Right.
I don't know their other stuff.
Right.
They don't have other stuff. That's the only song.
Just a
They did
single.
a great Elvis cover.
Which one? What they do? Suspicious?
I think
that was
did.
Funny on Cannibals.
I think no, it wasn't suspicious. They had another. Oh my God. It'll come to me. Go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
Jeff Stump. Wow.
Wow.
That's
I've never seen it. It's never been done.
It's never been done. That's what Adam's for. He's the quick fact checker. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, I was just going to say I think my favorite.
Fallen in Love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think my favorite songs on here are the more New York centric Banks on the Hudson and Sleep Tight in New York City.
Great song.
But yeah, I mean, I was mixed on it. I thought there's some gems in there. I don't know if I'm going to go back and listen to the album again, but there were some songs I really liked.
Yeah, I think it's just always good to listen to something that you would never listen to. I think it's important, as a pedophile autophile. I think you have to you have to, you'd have to listen to it. You don't always have to like it. I mean, that's why Anthony's on the show. But that's not always important, And then I feel like, it's like I don't know, it's good for the brain, I think, to just listen to stuff you never heard before. And I love it when once again, I love it when there's a band I don't know, because we all feel like we know it all with music, and then you're like, oh, I guess I don't. I mean, let's listen to this band, because we know so much, but then there's so much you miss. So I thought it was really cool. All right, so I'm going to go to my thing. This is going to be a mess because I picked probably the most complicated, most drama-esque freaking album I could ever possibly pick. I mean, this album is, I know Jeff has his feelings about Fleetwood Mac, but let's see. I own the album. I'm not a huge Fleetwood Mac fan, but I do love this album. I think this is kind of one of those. This is Fleetwood Mac Rumors, which when it came out, it was a hit. It kind of took a resurgence and came back up again in the past couple of years. This is Fleetwood Mac. They've had so many members in this band and so much drama in this band. And the British American rock band formed in London. And some of the people in the band, vocalist Peter Green, slide guitarist Jeremy Spencer, obviously Mick Fleetwood, let's see, Buckingham, so many people. The original, this lineup, yes, you throw out names because I'm going to be all over the place with this. This was so much information. So the Rumours lineup for this particular album: Mick Fleetwood, Christine McVie, John McVie, Stevie Nicks, and Lindsey Buckingham. And this is one of those albums that some might say it's the greatest, one of the greatest rock albums, top 10, whatever. Some might say it's period rock, is what my girlfriend calls it. So period rock. I think it's more mom rock, kind of like that other lady that Jeff likes.
They're not even alike.
So this is someone might say one of the greatest breakup albums of all time. There was a lot of drama going on within the band. It's like, here's part of it. So Stevie Nicks, she just split up with her long lover musical partner, Lindsey Buckingham. They were together. And then Christine V was divorcing her husband, the bassist, John McVie. And then Mick Fleetwood's extra band Marriage is on the rocks. And then he started having an affair with Stevie Nicks. And so this was a big tabloid situation. This was kind of one of those things we're having. This is, I believe, the third album. Fourth album that they'd done 3 albums already. And so there was a lot going on with all this kind of drama. And, oh, by the way, a lot of cocaine. So between kind of all this like extramarital craziness or whatever. And so, and that's got to be a weird situation where it's like, a lot of bands I feel fall short when it comes to like the problems in the band, like a band like Oasis, the brothers hate each other, whatever. And they don't always put it into the music. A lot of times it's like they just fuck it, we're out, And this band was like, there were times they really hated each other because Lindsey Buckingham was, was splitting with Stevie Nicks and they were having problems, whatever. But they found a way to put this into the art, and they found a way to, put the pain into the music, and so this album is full of kind of just betrayal and like, it's funny, the first song, let's see. All right, also I had it here. Okay, so I'm a little lost.
I want to know. I do want to
know. The famous one. Hold on. Rumours.
Don't stop.
Your Own Way. What is it? Go Your Own Way. Go Your Own Way. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm a little off. All right, so Go Your Own Way was like the big one. You can go your own way and like that. And that was Buckingham basically saying, hey, dude, do what you got to do, Stevie. Fuck everybody. I don't give a shit. And that was like one of their top 10 songs. And then Stevie Nicks, her counter song was Dreams, which is pretty much, hey, I don't want to be under your shadow. I want to be me. I want to be a free bird, that kind of thing. And then that was the only number 1 hit on the album. Wow. Was her song. So that was her. That's the best way to get back at your musician lover is be the number 1 song. So, like if you're gonna have a revenge, I think that's the best way to go. And Nicks had said that they played through the pain. That was what this whole album was about. And to date, this album moved more than 45 million copies worldwide, making one of the highest selling albums of all time. Just a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of the drummer, Mick Fleetwood. He baffled a lot of other drummers. Like they didn't understand, some of his riffs, especially on Going My Way, because they were just like, I don't understand how he's doing this. And he was dyslexic. And that was, he said he had this pattern in his head that nobody, could figure it out because he was dyslexic. And so the way he drummed was kind of in this backwards way. So on that first track, you could kind of, I guess, you can kind of catch it if you know a little bit about that. So I thought that's interesting. And then there's
cool.
a lot of weird stuff. Apparently, Dreams, Stevie Nicks wrote it in Sly Stone's bed or something, and like in 10 minutes, one of those things. I guess that was really good, sex where you're like, hey, I just instead of having a cigarette, she wrote a #1 song. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, Lindsey Buckingham, let's see, there's a lot of fun stuff in here. Let's see, this I'm gonna just do some hit stuff. So Lindsey Buckingham, when he played angry during this whole album. Apparently, he had to restring his guitar every 20 minutes during the recording of Never Going Back Again, which that kind of stuff just makes me, I love that. It's passion, whether you like Fleetwood Mac or not, this album is just, man, just full of dripping with all that passion and just putting it in there. So a lot of good shit. Let's see, I have some things here. A lot of cocaine, like I said. Apparently a significant amount of the recording costs went to the drugs. They were just like, let's put cocaine and cognac in the budget, which that's rock and roll, baby. You know what I mean? I'm sure Guns N' Roses had, heroin and Jack Daniels, so, but I love that, it's like, that's what rock was, man. Everybody's doing drugs, making music. And, Rumours had 4 songs that released as singles. Let's see, Dreams was the only #1 I have. And then, it's what's great about this album is when, this album's 45 years old. Right. Wow. It's 45 years old, and it's a pretty good song when it comes back with the youth. And that's how I like to look at, older music, because I feel like some music stays dated. We talk about that a lot. We talk about 80s music and stuff like that. I feel 70s music has a little more longevity than a lot of other music. And it's TikTok was the big viral. Some dude on a skateboard just like looking at himself with a water bottle or something. I don't know what it is. But apparently that became a big hit. But I love it that the kids were, picking up a, Fleetwood Mac album. So I think that's pretty cool. Go Your Own Way was apparently inspired by the Rolling Stones. The right drum approach was crucial. One day, Lindsey, I guess he was talking to Mick, and Mick liked it and apparently got his blessing on that. John McVeigh said he almost killed Lindsey Buckingham during the recording process, threw a bottle of vodka at his head. And then all he said was, at least he didn't spill the cocaine, which I think is great. So it's just funny shit like that. Like, it's just full of all this craziness. The Chain is the love song, which is apparently the only song on the album that everyone received a writing credit. Like, they all kind of like collaborated on that album as a group, if you will. Pretty safe to assume the only reason there's one song on Rumours that everybody more cocaine material here. Silver Springs was released as the B-side to Go Your Own Way, and then ended up being nominated for a Grammy over 20 years later when they recorded it. So I think that's pretty amazing. Rumours won the Grammy for Record of the Year in 1977. And also, and you say what you want about Fleetwood Mac, Rumours was selected for preservation in the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry in 2018. It was noted of the tension-filled recording of Rumours, the group had a sense that the songs were so strong, they not only endured, they prevailed. And there's a whole lot of other stuff. I'm sure Jeff knows stuff as well. But I like this album. I think it's like, it's kind of one of those songs. It's not a rocking album. And I could see why people wouldn't, if you're into Iron Maiden, you probably wouldn't be into Fleetwood Mac. Like, I get where you're, where people are with musically with an album like this. Cause it's, cause some might say it's elevator rock and whatever. You hear it in Rite Aid, I get it. But if you really listen to this album, like put it on, flip the side, really listen to it all the way through, it's top to bottom. I feel like every song probably could have been a hit on this. And there's some, some weird stuff on here, but, there's You Make Lovin' Fun. I Don't Want to Know. Oh, Daddy. Gold Dust Woman, obviously about cocaine. So this is a cool album. It's I just love the idea of a band. Instead of breaking up, we make a Grammy, winning album, and we sell millions of records. And I think there's something really cool about that. You put your passion into it, so, and that's what I always say, like, even yesterday, I had some weird stuff going on. I put it on the stage. That's what you do. And when a band does that, I think that's, true artist. And so that's my take on Fleetwood Mac Rumors. And let me tell you, there's a lot of information on this album, so it's really hard to grasp it all. Jeff, what do you got?
I totally get what you're saying and agree, as it being like, it is one of the quintessential albums of all time. Definitely could be considered one of the albums of the 70s. It was kind of like Frampton Comes Alive in the 70s. It seemed like this album was issued and everybody had it. It's not for me. I'll tell you right off the bat. It's not. I like two songs on this album. I like The Chain, and I like that you mentioned that it's an angry song, which I like, and I like Go Your Own Way, and I like that like you said, it's a breakup song, and they had to sing it to each other every night while they were on.
That is great.
But then there's the side of me that I cannot take Christine McVie. I hate her voice. I hate everything about her. I hate what was that song? You Make Loving Fun. I hate it. I hate Dreams. I hated Silver Springs. I don't like Gold Dust Woman. I'm not saying that they're not well-written songs, that they are. I mean, I think Lindsey Buckingham is one of the most underrated songwriter, guitarists of all time. I have a tremendous respect for the guy. I think they're all talented. I just think when you put them together, it doesn't mix for me. Don't Stop is good. Kind of got played out a little bit during the Clinton campaign.
Stop
but
thinking about it. Hard not to hum, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? After a while, I can't take it. But I mean, the secondhand news I don't like. I think one of the worst nights of my life was right before the pandemic. Someone wanted to do something nice and took me to a concert, and it was a couple of cover bands, and one was an Eagles cover band. The other was a Fleetwood Mac cover band. And I realized what hell's going to be like for me. Okay. It's going to be me watching a bunch of moms rocking out to Fleetwood Mac songs. But yeah, it obviously you're right. It's a great album. I guess there's, no accounting for taste. If they want to put this in the Library of Congress, go right ahead. But
it's the same way that, like, Anthony and I, feel about Springsteen. Like, it's, obviously great music, but it doesn't gel with us, and just like how you are with the bands that you like. So it's, oh, by the way, Rolling Stones, I know you hate them, but they're not cream, but they're still a decent, magazine. Number 7, 500 albums of all time.
Rolling Stone, because with their lists, and one day we got to go over the guitar playlist, because it is infuriating.
And number 6 was Nirvana, so never mind. So it tells you where it was at. But I get it, but I think musically, I think they nail it in this particular album. And I can't think of any other, like, I'm not like a Stevie Nicks guy. Her solo stuff, that was very 80s for me, and so it's like I don't get into it. But I do think she was a great rock star. She was like of the time, that 70s kind of.
Absolutely.
It was just good shit. I mean, it wasn't as soulful as like a Janis Joplin or anything like that, but it was it was of that time. It was like obviously drug fueled. Obviously, everybody was, swingers, being swingers and being, it was a time to kind of live and be a butterfly. And that's kind of what she was, And so, but yeah, I think there's, it's good stuff. Anthony, how you feel about, I know you didn't quite listen to this time, but I'm sure you have some thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to refresh, but this, you can't not be exposed to this album. It's very radio friendly. There's songs that I heard before I even knew who Fleetwood Mac was. I was hearing Don't Stop, I just as a little kid. I wouldn't say I'm a Fleetwood Mac fan, but there's some classic songs on there. I have no problem with Fleetwood Mac. I don't listen to them usually, but it's radio friendly pop hits. It's funny though, because I knew there was some tension going on, but the stories of the rage and all the drugs, it's like you expect it to be like the Sex Pistols or something like that, and then it ends up being it's Rumours. I wouldn't expect those stories to go with that album.
Yeah, well, it is if you listen to the music, if you listen to like the lyrics and kind of what they're going through. But yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. That's what there was a TV show that was on HBO, and I was very fond of the show. It was a show called Vinyl, and it was about kind of, you know, the music industry, you know, late 70s and 80s and stuff. And, you know, one thing that I didn't like about it was the extremity of the cocaine use and how it affected people. Yeah. And it was like, I felt like it was very cartoonish. And it was like,
it was over the top.
Yeah, there was, you know,
like an after school special, right?
I thought it ruined the show. It made it so much. Cheesy. And but there's a great episode where Elvis is in a hotel room and he's showing the guy's gun, and it's Ray Romano, and it's so freaking funny. But yeah, so some people did coke, and it wasn't like the Sex Pistols. They weren't breaking shit and Guns N' Roses in it. They were just, you know, doing coke and writing songs and fucking people. You know, it was a different, you know, I think that's the thing about, you know, that particular time is people were getting high and going to, you know, Studio 54. You know what I mean? Like, it was a different, not everybody was like going nuts and breaking shit.
Yeah.
Getting arrested or whatever. I mean, a lot of people were, but I don't know. There's a respectful way to do drugs. There's a classy way to do cocaine. Trust me, I know for 15 years. There's a classy way. I always say only do cocaine if the apartment is nice, and don't go to a dingy place and do cocaine. Like that's going to be a bad situation. But do it in a Mercedes, do it in a fancy, you know, hotel bathroom. But don't, you know. Anyway, kids don't do drugs. But I'm just saying, if you're
you can't do cocaine now. It's different with the fentanyl and everything.
Yeah, it kills people. Yeah, drugs were better back then. Back then, you did coke and you wrote a #1 hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. You're not writing rumors these days. If you do.
Yeah, Adam, how do you feel about this particular album?
Oh, first, Fleetwood Mac almost thanked their coke dealer in the album credits, except that he got executed right before the album came out.
Wow, was that true?
Oh yeah,
they almost thanked him.
That's so funny, man. I mean, yeah, it's interesting that, like, you know, because heroin always gets the credit for kind of like creating this certain sound in music, and a lot of times you don't think of cocaine and, like, you know, something
coke
like
doesn't get its due.
Yeah, it doesn't. I think cocaine, it doesn't. I think a lot of people have done some good work on coke. You know,
I think you're right.
Eric Clapton, like, there's been some good, some good coke music out there. We'll do that. We'll do top 10 coke fueled music.
Oh, okay. All right. I like this.
But do you listen to this album at all, Adam? Do you like Fleetwood Mac? Or
I've actually seen them a few times during their reunion tours, and it is very uncomfortable to see you know, Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks playing some of these songs, having to kind of fake it through it. But it's you know, it's a tremendous album. In the chat, Tasty Snack says that Rumours is mom on her period rock.
All right.
But
okay, moms don't get their periods anymore, but I get what you're saying.
Right. No. But I would say I think my favorite song on this album, though, is Silver Springs, even though it got cut. Even though it got cut from the album, and it's really, I think that's a more vicious rebuttal by Stevie Nicks to Lindsey Buckingham's "Go Your Own Way." It's just such a venomous kind of breakup song.
Yeah, and you know, but I'm sure they're fine now. I mean, I know you see when you see them, I'm sure. I mean, they've made $1 gazillion. It's
right.
Like they've all probably been remarried 10 times. You know what I mean? Like,
for as much as she hated him, she wanted him in the band, and you know, sometimes you have that bond. Like, no matter what you do, how much of a dick, get out of my life, and then I need you back. And that was always the relationship between Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. Even now, when he's out of the band, she's the one who's still advocating to have him back in.
What was his solo stuff, Buckingham?
Oh, it's good. You know, you know, a lot of people may know him from
Vacation,
the Vacation song "Holiday Road." But I remember he had Big Love. He had a bunch of. Do
you have a really band, cool, or was he just solo? Like,
no, he was solo.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm not as familiar with him by solo work. But
me either.
Very cool. Yeah, so get you some mom period rock, and you know, somebody. There was another chat thing. What was that? Adam, can you read the last chat?
See, Cocaine Day is May 8th, so we know the theme that week.
Get your coke, kids.
I didn't know there was a cocaine day.
There is, yeah. See, I always knew I'd do coke because I was into pixie sticks when I was a child, and it was like powder in a straw. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. Hey, sometimes we do jokes that we did yesterday. Okay, on the show. Adam, did you have a short list for us? We have a few minutes. We're gonna. Did you?
Well, I was looking at the. I was looking at the 10 things you didn't know about Rumours, but it's basically a novel. So
okay,
let me see if I can
you
find
had
one.
something like a anxiety nuclear.
Oh yeah,
list
the
or
nuclear anxiety list. But I think it was 30 something songs. I can pull that up real fast.
We'll do the top 10. Let's do the top 10
right.
Nuclear anxiety. Are they war songs? I guess is that, or just like when the atom bomb was coming out and all that stuff? Everybody's freaking out, writing music.
Yeah, it was.
You could probably guess some of them.
Yeah,
there
was.
Minutes, so.
Oh wait, I had a Depeche Mode one here. 2-minute warning by Depeche Mode.
Okay.
You see, Alphaville Forever Young.
Yeah. Great song.
That's about what? I thought that was just about aging.
Yeah.
See,
that's about
about
what? Anxiety
nuclear
about
war.
nuclear war?
It's about the Cold War.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I had no idea.
I
I just thought it was like, damn it, I'm not 25 anymore.
Yeah.
Isn't there a lyric in there about the bomb
It says,
going off?
Yeah, hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you going to drop the bomb or not?
Right.
Okay. I got to go back to that song. All right.
Yeah. What about the
play that a lot.
psychedelic? Yeah, the Psychedelic Furs, Heaven.
That's a good
great
band.
song.
Yeah. You ever heard of them, Anthony? Like listen to them?
I've heard some stuff. It's like a band where I hear their name more than I've heard any
we'll
of their
cover one of the
music.
albums. I think you would like them. They're groovy, kind of underrated, if you will. Band.
Agreed.
Yeah.
If you like Iggy Pop, I think you'd like
It's
Psychedelic
yeah,
Furs.
Okay.
it's a little poppier kind of radio, but it's not. It's still kind of underground. It's good stuff though. Yeah, it's kind of like Love and Rockets.
Yeah.
It's good.
You
Nice.
got
Yeah.
Murray Head, One Night in Bangkok from Chess.
How is that an atom bomb song?
Well,
How's
it was.
that
I mean,
song
it was
go?
about the Cold War. It's
It's taken from a soundtrack.
yeah. Well, from the
Nothing
musical
to do with
Chess.
it.
What's
Yeah.
the official title of this list?
38 essential 80s songs about nuclear anxiety.
Okay.
So all
Oh, so
mostly
they're
Cold
all
War.
Cold War. I thought
Cold
it
War,
was
yeah.
all time. I was like,
And that Chess
no, it's-
soundtrack was written by the guys from ABBA.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Jeff, one thing you don't know about Jeff, he loves Iron Maiden, but he also loves a good Broadway show.
That is very true. Come on,
He's
Dustin,
very
I tell you that
multi-layered.
confidence.
He's very multi-layered.
Right.
Very multi-layered, that Jeffrey
great
Paul.
dancer.
Phenomenal dancer.
Phenomenal
Get it right.
dancer.
Get it right.
So we got Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a fantastic one. Genesis, Land of Confusion.
Great one. Yeah, you ever
that
seen
is
the
a-
video?
Yeah, oh yeah.
We
We had the Reagan
Confusion.
puppet and
Gorbachev.
Gorbachev. Yeah.
What's it? How's that song go? What's the chorus on that? Land of Confusion. Fight. How's it go? Nobody knows the chorus? There's a great.
Didn't Disturbed do a
Yes.
remake of it?
Yeah, and it's it's
Also really
Too
good.
many people making too many.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. None of us know the chorus, but it's a
I
good
like
song.
Invisible Touch. That's Genesis that I like.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Because we're pedophile audiophiles. We're not pedophiles. It's a joke. I keep hammering it out because that's how we do in comedy. All right. What else you got?
We got the Smiths with Ask.
I feel
Oh.
like every song
I
is
know.
about anxiety or some chick in a coma. All right, cool.
I thought Panic would be.
Hey,
Would be the
oh.
Panic, that's probably the only.
Give
Smith
yourself
songs
a
I
down. Is that it?
We could let's see. We could do a couple more. Public Image Limited, Home.
Oh,
You're
nice.
missing the most obvious one.
Maybe
Which
that's
is-
number one.
Which one? Well, I'm kind of
Public
jumping
Image
around the list.
This great band, very cool band. Johnny Rotten spit on me in the front row. I keep telling that story, but it's like, yeah, and that was before COVID, so you know, it was just more of a badge of honor. We were just like, I'm not washing my face for a year. I'm punk rock, you know. Johnny spit in my mouth.
That's like getting blood on you. Now you just go to the hospital.
Yeah,
it's like getting blood on you at a G.G. Allen concert.
Or poop would be more appropriate, I think. Gotta come out here and go to the museum. He's got a museum.
Oh, they have one?
Yeah. His own museum. Yeah.
Nice.
I think his balls are in it or something. Seriously, like part of his body's in it. It's like he's just balls in a jar or something. That's punk rock when you got your balls in a pickle jar at your museum. All right, give us one more. And then
all right, it's a good one. The Fix, Red Skies.
Oh, Red Skies at Night.
Red Skies at Night.
I didn't know many of these. I don't know if I knew any of these songs.
Oh, it's a great song. I used to see them like in bars.
Really?
Yeah, I remember one night, me and my wife go out. There's maybe 20 people in the place, and the Fix is on stage.
Oh, wow. I feel like you've seen so many bands, Jeff, that were like bringer shows. You know what I mean? Like they were just like starting out. Like I just saw that guy bark, and now he's on stage playing Red Skies.
But I can't believe that you're missing the biggest song of the 80s that had to do with the atom bomb.
Close it out, Jeff. What is it?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
99 Luftballons.
Oh, yeah, it's on here.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
that one I know.
It's got to be number one. It's the ultimate song about it.
What was number one?
I don't think it's in any order. It's just they just kind of threw out. But 99 Luftballons is on here.
Yeah, I love that song. That's one of the great. What do you call it in music, Anthony? When it's like breaks, or like when it just starts slow and then goes fast. I don't know if you call that anything.
I don't know. It's
You're the one with the guitar. Help me out.
Yeah, I'm trying. I was trying to learn how to. I don't know.
What was that?
I'm trying to play the riff.
Anthony, did you ever hear Goldfinger's version of it?
Yeah, a Goldfinger version
phenomenal.
is awesome. I
One of
love
the best
that.
remakes ever made.
Yeah.
Best? I don't know about that.
Absolutely.
It's
in my
pretty
top
great.
10.
Ever made?
In my top 10, it's in my top 10 of remakes. Yeah, that's a great take on it. They changed the arrangement a little bit fast. It's punky. It's so good.
Yeah. And he does mostly English, and then one verse he does in German, which I don't know if it's real. Like, I don't know if it's gibberish, but it sounds German to me.
No, they do.
Probably like, I want a sausage or white power. You know what I mean? It's probably something weird.
But it's pretty cool. I love that version.
Somebody said they had one more.
Oh, yeah, I got one more.
Okay.
All right. So after the fire, wow, I can't even pronounce this. Dark Commissar. Yeah, and because it's both about the Cold War and it's about cocaine.
And
talk about a callback. Talk about a callback. I mean, if the world's going to end, I think that's the last drug I want is cocaine. You know what I mean? You're just way too alert. Like if you're worried about war, I think there's other kind of downer drugs that are going to get you through. All right, everybody. This was a great show. Thank you so much for listening to Dustin's Vinyl and my good buddies here. And we hope that you keep listening and buying records at the record store. Get off your Spotify's and get into a store and support vinyl. And we're going to be doing some changes since I got hacked. I'm going to be doing more emphasis on the Dustin's Vinyl Facebook page, Instagram. Yeah. I know it's horrible, and I can't get a hold of Facebook or Instagram. It's like, here's the deal. Is like it's one of the multi-million-dollar companies, billion-dollar companies of all time, Facebook, Instagram, and there's no 1-800 number. You know what I mean? Like every other store, every other business has a customer service number, but Instagram just, you know what I mean? Like even a drug dealer has a phone number. Like it's like it's the only.
There should be some type of customer service. 100% agree.
Something, yeah. It's like old people are getting on Facebook. Hey, this guy over here. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time on Dustin. Play us out, Anthony. Give us some. Yeah. This is me messing up my equipment.